Love the Eagles as much as we do? Then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. Rumors have been swirling everywhere, and the buzz is louder than ever as insiders across the league whisper that Myles Garrett, one of the most dominant defensive forces of this generation, is now tied to the Philadelphia Eagles in a way nobody saw coming. Fans all over social media have been reacting in waves, from shock to excitement, as speculation grows that the defensive superstar may have quietly positioned himself for a stunning shift that aligns perfectly with the Eagles' aggressive, never-settle mentality. What makes this rumor even more electrifying is how unexpected it feels, like a storm that forms out of nowhere and suddenly sits right above the league's landscape. The idea of Garrett wearing midnight green has fueled conversations that range from hypothetical schemes to imaginary press conferences, and even though nothing is officially confirmed, the energy is explosive. Every time this rumor resurfaces, it gains more traction, leaving fans wondering whether this is smoke with fire behind it or simply one of those seismic off-season rumors that take on a life of their own. Still, when a name like Myles Garrett is involved, people don't just shrug it off. They lean forward, pay attention, and start imagining the chaos he could unleash in a new uniform. The chatter surrounding Garrett intensified after a series of cryptic gestures that fans have been dissecting frame by frame, as if every tiny detail contains a clue hiding in plain sight. A liked post here, a subtle comment there, a video appearance that seems casual but leaves just enough room for interpretation. All of this has turned into fuel for speculation, especially among those who believe major moves always start with whispers long before they become reality. The Eagles fan base, known for their passion and ability to connect dots even when the dots aren't fully visible, has taken this rumor and amplified it to another level. They've imagined Garrett stepping into a defensive line that already commands respect, elevating it into a nightmare for quarterbacks league-wide. It's the kind of mental image that spreads fast because it fits a storyline fans love, a powerhouse defender joining a powerhouse team to create something terrifyingly efficient. And in a league where perception often becomes momentum, the idea of Garrett aligning himself with Philadelphia has captured the imagination of anyone who follows football with intensity. What really set this rumor ablaze was the sudden silence from sources who usually shut things down immediately. When insiders who are known for dismissing unrealistic chatter suddenly stay quiet, fans pick up on it quickly. That silence has turned into the loudest part of the entire conversation, especially because Garrett is the kind of player who transforms any team the second he steps on the field. People started asking themselves why nobody in the know was refuting the whispers with confidence. That absence of denial has created an eerie space where anything feels possible. And within that space, the idea of Myles Garrett as an Eagle has grown into something that feels increasingly tangible. And the more people visualize it, the more the rumor becomes its own force, spreading through forums, podcasts, live-stream discussions, and every corner of the online football world. It's as if this storyline wrote itself, and now everyone is just waiting to see whether it becomes the league's next big twist. At the heart of all this energy is Garrett himself, a player who radiates both confidence and unpredictability, the kind of personality that fuels speculation naturally. Observers have pointed out how his recent demeanor seems sharper, almost intentional, as if he knows more than he's revealing. There's this sense that he's been operating with a purpose that hasn't yet been explained publicly. And of course, when a superstar carries himself like something is shifting behind the scenes, fans don't need a press release to start imagining possibilities. The Eagles, with their track record of making bold, aggressive roster decisions, instantly enter the conversation because they've earned a reputation for recognizing opportunities that other teams overlook or hesitate to move on. So naturally, when the league starts rumbling about a generational defensive talent potentially making a shocking transition, Philadelphia's name rises to the top of the list. Not because the rumor sounds wild, but because it actually makes too much sense to ignore. Amid all the fan theories and swirling excitement, analysts have been weighing in with their own interpretations, trying to decide whether this rumor is born from wishful thinking or from something more concrete. What makes everything so compelling is the perfect alignment between Garrett's strengths and the Eagles' identity. It's the kind of pairing that sounds scripted, almost too fitting, the kind of combination that defensive coordinators fantasize about when sketching out hypothetical dream lineups. Even without official confirmation, the concept resonates because of how seamlessly Garrett's intensity would sync with Philadelphia's culture, a culture built on toughness, relentlessness, and a hunger to impose their will on opponents. And because of this natural synergy, the rumor hasn't faded the way typical off-season noise usually does. Instead, it has grown legs, branching into new layers of speculation every time a new detail emerges or a new silence deepens the mystery. As the storm of speculation continues, fans have been debating the potential impact of such a move, not just within Philadelphia, but across the entire league. Adding a defensive force like Garrett would tilt the balance in ways that analysts have been breaking down from every angle. Some envision him anchoring a unit that already thrives on pressure and disruption, while others imagine how his presence could free up other defensive stars to play even more aggressively. The conversation isn't just about talent. It's about swagger, intimidation, and the psychological effect of lining up against a team that refuses to let an offense breathe. That's why the rumor has such staying power. It taps into a narrative of dominance, of a franchise making a move that sends shockwaves through every locker room. Whether or not the rumor becomes reality, its momentum has already turned into one of the most animated talking points of the entire football landscape. The second wave of discussion surrounding Garrett and the Eagles has taken on a life of its own, with new layers of speculation emerging from fans who believe that subtle interactions between players often signal something deeper happening behind the scenes. Eagles players engaging with Garrett on social platforms have become topics of analysis, with every emoji and every short comment treated like a coded message. When star players from a team begin publicly interacting with a player who's at the center of a massive rumor, fans don't see it as coincidence. They see it as the early steps of a storyline forming in real time. And because the NFL world operates heavily on relationships, these tiny digital breadcrumbs have become reasons for fans to feel that something major may indeed be brewing. It's the type of environment where whispers become ripples, and ripples become waves that reshape the entire picture. Another piece that keeps this rumor alive is the narrative surrounding Garrett's hunger for legacy and the possibility that he might be seeking a fresh environment to take his already dominant career to another level. People close to the league have long talked about how certain players reach a point where they want more than individual accolades. They want to be part of something that echoes for years. Fans have taken that idea and merged it with the Eagles' reputation for chasing championships with an aggressive, win-now mindset. It creates a scenario where both sides could theoretically benefit in ways that feel almost cinematic. Garrett, stepping into a team that thrives on physicality and attitude, would have a chance to redefine his path, while the Eagles would add a generational talent capable of reshaping their entire defensive identity. It's the kind of possibility that makes fans lean in, imagining what such a pairing could mean for the entire football world. Observers have also pointed to the way Garrett has been carrying himself, not just confidently, but with a certain edge that fans associate with players who sense an upcoming change. The idea that he might be preparing for a new chapter has gained traction because nothing about his recent demeanor feels random. In fact, it feels purposeful, almost strategic, as if he's positioning himself for a reveal that hasn't yet been made public. That speculation alone has poured gasoline on the rumor, especially because the Eagles are known for pulling off moves that nobody saw coming until the very moment they struck. This combination of Garrett's energy and the Eagles' unpredictability has created a storm of anticipation that refuses to calm down, no matter how many times people attempt to dismiss it as mere off-season chatter. Even though the conversation is driven heavily by fan imagination, there's a deeper element at play: the understanding that great teams often emerge from moments of bold decision-making. When a player of Garrett's magnitude becomes the center of a rumor, people don't brush it off lightly. Instead, they see it as a sign of something significant possibly taking shape. That's why analysts have been dissecting every angle, From potential fit to cultural impact to the ripple effects such a move would create in locker rooms across the league. Every expert who weighs in adds a new layer to the discussion, further fueling the belief that even the wildest rumors sometimes carry a thread of truth. And if that thread leads to a union between Garrett and the Eagles, it would immediately reshape expectations for both sides. All of this collective excitement has turned the rumor into something almost mythic, a storyline that fans revisit throughout the day as new interpretations and theories pop up. Some see this as destiny in motion, while others see it as an example of how quickly the football world can latch onto an idea that feels compelling enough to take on a reality of its own. What makes the entire situation even more gripping is how neither side has stepped forward to clarify anything, leaving the rumor suspended in a space where imagination does most of the heavy lifting. And in that space, the idea of Garrett stepping into the Eagles' identity feels increasingly plausible, even if no tangible confirmation has been shared. It's a rare moment where fan energy and league intrigue merge into a single wave of anticipation. As the conversation continues to evolve, one thing has become clear. Whether or not the rumor becomes reality, it has tapped into something powerful. The excitement that comes from imagining a superstar aligning with a franchise known for making big, fearless moves. Fans can't help but picture Garrett charging through offensive lines wearing midnight green, transforming games with the kind of force that changes the tone of an entire season. It's a vision built on intensity, ambition, and the belief that some players carry an energy capable of reshaping whatever environment they enter. That's why the rumor refuses to fade. It carries the weight of possibility, the spark of unpredictability, and the thrill of imagining that something massive could be unfolding just beneath the surface. And until the truth finally emerges, the football world will continue buzzing, wondering if Myles Garrett is indeed the next unstoppable force preparing to make Philadelphia his new home. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. What really keeps this rumor alive in the minds of fans is the sense that something monumental could be forming behind closed doors. The kind of quiet buildup that eventually explodes into one of those league-altering announcements that people talk about for years. Every time Garrett posts something vague or appears in a clip with a smirk that could mean absolutely anything, the internet immediately spins it into a narrative of anticipation. It doesn't matter if the clue is microscopic. Fans magnify it until it becomes part of a larger puzzle that seems to point directly toward Philadelphia. And the fascinating part is how natural the fit feels. Almost like the idea didn't come from speculation, but from an organic storyline forming on its own. Garrett's power, presence, and attitude would slot seamlessly into a franchise that thrives on energy, intensity, and ambition. So even if this rumor began as a whisper, it has now grown into a conversation that feels too substantial to simply fade away. Instead, it has become a living, breathing storyline, one that refuses to weaken no matter how many times people try to dismiss it as just off-season noise. The longer this rumor circulates, the more people start imagining the ripple effects it could create across the league, especially among teams that have spent years trying to contain Garrett's explosiveness. The psychological element alone is enormous. The idea of an already intimidating Eagles defense suddenly adding a generational disruptor instantly changes the way offensive coordinators would prepare. Fans can't help but daydream about the chaos he could unleash in midnight green, whether he's collapsing pockets, forcing hurried throws, or setting a tone that reverberates through every snap. What makes the rumor so magnetic is not just the talent involved, but the energy that Garrett embodies. An energy that lines up perfectly with a franchise known for its passion and its refusal to take a step back from anyone. As long as the rumor stays alive, people will continue to build scenarios in their minds, imagining how Garrett could shift the momentum of entire matchups simply by stepping onto the field. And because the narrative fits so naturally, The speculation only intensifies with each passing moment of silence from all parties involved. In the end, what makes this rumor so captivating is the sense that it could either be a brilliant twist waiting to unfold or one of those legendary off-season myths that grows bigger than anyone ever intended. Yet even if nothing materializes, the excitement it has generated speaks volumes about Garrett's magnitude as a player and the Eagles' reputation as a franchise that constantly hovers around massive, unexpected movements. Fans have embraced this storyline not because it's guaranteed, but because it represents the thrill of possibility. The adrenaline rush that comes from imagining two powerhouse forces joining in a way that feels both shocking and perfectly logical. It taps into the essence of sports speculation, the idea that one move could tilt the entire balance of the league and rewrite narratives instantly. That's why people keep watching, refreshing, analyzing every hint and non-hint. Because until someone steps forward with clarity, the rumor remains alive, pulsing, growing, and feeding into the hope that something extraordinary might be brewing in the shadows. And whether it ends in reality or remains a legendary whisper, the story of Myles Garrett potentially becoming an Eagle has already captured the imagination of fans everywhere, and it doesn't seem ready to let go anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.